I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muscles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They been Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Need some PlayStation!
Uno mas.
I'm in the world, but not of it.
Oh, we need a Pride Month song.
Every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They been Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Need some PlayStation! Let's go to Target!
All right. Guys, before we get going with the show, I gotta play one more song. Let's do Pride is the Devil 2. The last show of Pride Month. We made it! We made it! Hey. We made it, boys. Why is my volume so low? There we go. There we go.
Somebody gotta say it. And that pride is the devil. That's a long fall from up there. Look, they push the gay agenda on us. I won't let it slide. Put our rainbow on the flag. They dress in drag and call it pride. You can't live the way you want. Repent and pick a side. Don't be surprised that when you die and meet the guy, you get denied. Pride is the devil. I just call it how I see it. Y'all can beat it. I'm a vessel. He uses who he chooses. No excuses. I won't settle. The pride of making mental. The side of me, honest to God, it's rotten your potential. And the cost is detrimental. You're not gay. It's just that demon that's inside of you. I know we can pray and kill that demon that has
Is he in a studio?
He'll try to tempt you with the sin. You should not bite the fruit. That devil's trying to kill you, but the Lord is trying to ride with you. I've known a couple prideful people in my day. Never seen them bow down in the fetal when they pray. Look, pride will overtake you like a needle to the vein. Pride make you think you spotless even when you're evil in your ways. Pride is the devil. Pride comes before a fall. Pride is the devil. Writing sins up on that wall. Pride is the devil. Take that lock out your eye, cause I'm about to snap. Pride is the devil. I ain't never going out like that. Pride comes before a fall. Pride is the devil. Writing sins
Pride is the devil.
Pride is the devil. Take that lock out.
All right.
I'm about to snap. Pride is the devil. I ain't never going out like that. Pride got you feeling untouchable. You ain't got. Pride to get you puffed up in the head. It's a facade. Pride to take you places that you didn't want to go and keep you longer than you wanted. Shouldn't have listened to that bow. You dipping low. God is knocking. You don't listen. Yeah, that's pride. You treat believers like they're heathens. Call them demons, but that's the pride. Pride to make you weak and make you cover up them lies. That how you judging everybody with that plank up in your eye. Pride make you blind. You rejecting all correction. discipleship will show you that humility's a blessing. Ain't going out like that. God, fill me with your presence. I've been prideful in the past, but help me really learn the lesson. I was walking with my chest out, looking down at everybody else. My tongue was a sword, I did not care how anybody felt. Look, pride destroys everything around you. Better turn from it, cause you won't get to heaven how he found you. Man, pride is the devil. Pride comes before a fall.
All right, guys.
Writing sins up on that wall. Pride is the devil. Take that lock out your eye, cause I'm about to snap.
Monday night.
I ain't never going out like that. Pride comes before a fall.
Monday night, King of the Week up right.
Pride is the devil. Take that lock out your eye, cause I'm about to snap. Pride is the devil. I ain't never going out like that. Sometimes that devil don't always show up with horns.
All right. All right, that's that. Guys. Monday, June 29th. This is the Dreaded Conservative show. Where my lights at? We got lights. The lights aren't on. What the heck? Lot of negative news today. I'm gonna try to keep it light, not keep it too heavy. A lot of earthquakes, Japan and Venezuela earthquakes, shootings. Sure enough, there was a Juneteenth shooting. I think 8 people were killed in that one. And then there was a Montreal shooting, which is an interesting story. And apparently, from what maybe it was Kieran, I forget who told me, but somebody said that they're shutting this story down and they're banning the full story. We know about the Montreal shooting, but there's part of the story that they're not wanting people to talk about. And that's the fact that the only civilian who was killed by an officer. So an officer and a civilian died, and then the shooter died. So I sent you positive stories, so I'm guessing not. No, I didn't see them. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, the Montreal shooting is a weird one. Not a huge shooting. But it's interesting how they're kind of burying the lead on the part of the story where it's a woman officer shooting a innocent person who's running by or running towards her. Probably a bad idea for him to run towards her, but he was probably thinking he was running towards safety and he ran and he got shot. We'll look at it more here in a minute. We're going to start with that, with the shooting stuff. And then the earthquakes in Japan and Venezuela. And then heat waves across Europe. Did you know they don't have air conditioning in freaking a lot of places in Europe? Paris doesn't. France. Shocker that the place where they don't shave their armpits and feminism abounds, they don't freaking use air conditioning. What do you mean all that sexual liberation didn't teach you how to turn on some air conditioning? You like it hot, huh? You like it hot and stinky. France, we like it less le pipi. Stinky le pipi. Pepe le pipi. Isn't it interesting? I hear French people stink. It's probably because they don't have air conditioning. So, anyway, heat wave across the world, earthquakes, shootings. Are we in the end times? Is this the apocalypse? I see a lot of stuff that's talked about in Revelation and in Matthew 24. But, you know, is it worse than always, or is it just more blown up by the media, seen in your social media feeds? Everywhere you look, you see it. Are we actually nearing the end times, or are we always in the end times? Y'all know me. That's how I feel about it. We're always in the end times. Don't worry. I'm not turning into a end times cult leader just yet. They don't use deodorant either. Ew. Pepe le pew. Wow. Stinky. They're stinky is what we're saying here. All right. So that's the plan. And then so I'll probably do a little bit of rapid fire news after we talk about the heat wave. And then with any leftover time I have in the end, maybe we'll skim over Matthew 24 or something. Some end time stuff. I mean, we read the whole Old Testament and there's plenty of apocalyptic writing in there. Especially in Isaiah, Jeremiah. So we've covered it. We'll have to cover it again. All right, I need to find my folder. Where's the folder? It's Dreadedconservative Show, Monday night, kicking the week off right. Let's get it. All right. Pride is the devil. Let it get a hold on me. Just give me 1 second. All right. Oh my God, is BBC? BBC is trying to charge me now? What the heck? Yep, BBC's not going to let me read their stuff no more. Wow. Hold on 1 second. Let me find one more article since that one didn't work. Montreal shooting, all we know. Maybe we can get CNN or something up in here. Wikipedia. I guess we could just read it from Wikipedia. Deadly Montreal shooting shows incel violence is a global incel former to claim the shooter is one of their own. Yeah, I haven't read his manifesto yet. But apparently this dude... All right, so let's check this out. This is the Montreal shooting. Apparently this dude wrote a manifesto, but he only killed one person? Two people. No. I believe he killed an officer and himself. And then there was a extra, they say a civilian or a bystander, but we have video of it. He was shot point blank by an officer. A woman officer. Just giving a description. That's all I'm doing is giving a description of her. He ran around a corner and she shot him. We have the video of all that. Heavily edited for, YouTube purposes. But the latest on the Montreal shooting that left a civilian, a police officer, and a suspected gunman dead. On June 22nd, 2026, and this is from the Gazette. This is from the Montreal Gazette, so this is their local paper. On June 22nd, 2026, a shootout in Montreal's Côte des Nègres, I don't know how to say that, neighborhood. Look, they spell it neighborhood with a U. Crazy Canadians. Resulted in the deaths of a civilian, a police officer, and the suspected shooter. Here's everything we know. The shootings at 11:35 on Monday, June 22nd, Montreal Police SPVM received a 911 call from a civilian reporting a gun sticking out of a window at the Hilton Garden Inn Montreal Midtown Down Hotel on the corner of Descaries Boulevard and Decotaille Avenue. I do not know how to speak or read French properly. These letters are probably making totally different sounds. They do that in France. I don't get it. By the time officers arrived, the gunman, later identified as 25-year-old Seth Scott Hatfield, Huh. I thought the government... Is that the name that I read from BBC? I feel like it was a different name. Was on street level. Gunfire exchange was exchanged between Hatfield and police outside the hotel along De Courtrai. 3 people died as a result of the exchange. Constable Mohammed Lamin Benredouan, civilian Michael Mizrahi, and Hatfield himself. A second female officer, who has not been formally identified, was critically injured in the shootout, but her condition later stabilized in the hospital. Now, why don't they say that she's the one who shot the civilian? The precise unfolding of the shooting has not yet been made public. Authorities have declined to comment on unconfirmed reports that Mizrahi was mistakenly killed by the surviving officer's gunfire. Have declined to comment on unconfirmed reports. Now, Crowder reported on it. I'm talking about it. The Gazette mentions it. At least they mentioned it. I did read this BBC. It's weird. When I pull up stuff on Google, it'll let me read it. But then when I save it into a folder and open it for you guys, it does this. But I've read this article, and it does not say anything about the woman officer even potentially, let's say allegedly, allegedly shooting the suspect. But there's video of it. So I think we have, and I like, so the shooter is, and also the shooter had a manifesto. We're going to try to find that. I think Crowder reads some of it on here. We're just going to skip through his show real quick because he did a clip of this. But, so apparently the shooter was an incel Marxist, anti-capitalist guy, and he shot a Muslim police officer and killed, and that guy passed away, and then he was killed, and he's a Marxist commie, and then the woman officer shot the Jewish civilian. What's going on here? Diversity in Canada. Diversity in Canada. Canada. Okay. And then we'll read this in a second, but I want to just go to the videos.
Black pillar. Look, it's not complicated. Work on yourself. Situations. Here's the breakdown. That's someone watching. Female officer is behind the barrier.
Holy shit.
You'll see her.
That's the shooter. Duck down.
The shooter. There's the female officer.
That's the officer who was shot, and it's blurred out. And by the way, for YouTube, this is all for educational and informational and news reporting purposes, with some entertainment and some comedy, some thrown in. This is all op-ed. This is my opinions. I'm not a journalist. This is for entertainment and education and news reporting purposes only. This is not live footage, of course, and everything is blurred out.
The shooter.
So this is the officer dead on the ground, I believe. And then this is the female officer ducked down behind cover.
There's the female officer.
Now there's a civilian that you just see standing up right there. Shooter's there. There's no cut. She goes over here. Now there's this officer, and there's a person standing right here. This is a civilian. He's going to get up, and he's going to walk around the corner. I don't know if he knows the officer is crouched right here. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Either way, he goes around the corner. He sees her.
There's the female officer.
Bystander sees shooter and pops out of cover. So here's the bystander. The other shooter's down here behind cover. He wants to get away from here. Policewoman looking towards partner who has just been shot. So she sees her partner on the ground. This bystander stands up. He walks around the corner. She turns around and shoots him. Boom. Policewoman gets startled and shoots bystander. Unconfirmed reports. Officials have yet to make a statement about the unconfirmed reports. Oh, you mean all of the video footage? Now, I can understand in the heat of the moment especially a woman officer. They don't perform as well under pressure. That's one of the reasons why they probably shouldn't be law enforcement officers, at least ones who are out in the field, potentially getting shot or having to shoot people. They can't even pull the cord on the artillery gun. Anyway, that's a side topic. We'll get to that. But I can understand a woman getting afraid, or a man. The shooter, you know he's that way. You're looking this way. You know he could have come, because he's in cover right over here. He could come down that, he could have crawled down that snake or walked down that line and popped up on her, got the drop on her. So I understand. This is an accident. Accidents happen. It's a problem. It's not good, but I get it. What I don't get is why you wouldn't comment on this when asked about it, and people have all seen the videos, why the authorities wouldn't comment on it, why the media would bury this part of the story and not just tell people this. Why would they do that? Because you know why? Because they know that everybody's going to say, well, that's why women shouldn't be officers. We can't talk bad about the women. But the cover-up is the problem, not the fact that the fact that it happened is a problem, but I understand mistakes. I watch a lot of body cam footage. Mistakes happen. I watched one just yesterday where this dad was in an apartment with a knife, and he had stabbed his wife, and then the cops come in, and he runs into the back of the apartment and grabs like a 4-year-old child and picks him up and puts a knife to his neck and comes around the corner. The officer doesn't know he's got the kid in his hands now. The officer just thinks he's coming around the corner to stab him. And as soon as he comes out from around the corner, the officer pulls the trigger. One shot took out both of them, and he was devastated. But so things happen, bad things happen. I get it. You're an officer. It comes with the job. But the cover-up is the problem. The media cover-up. The officials not commenting on it like they want to gaslight us. Shooter on the move towards police. So she just shot a civilian. Now the shooter's running towards her.
Yeah, so it's chaotic.
But I think she ends up taking him out, which she shot, moved around the thing, he shot. Like, she was in a shootout, and she survived. And, you know, she got caught off guard and popped a shot at a civilian. I get it, but don't cover it up. Face it. Face up to it. Now, maybe it's a thin blue line type thing where the police chief and the whole police force is behind her, and they're like, listen, we need to kind of bury this because she maybe should get a little suspension or something, but we're not going to fire her for this. It was a mistake. We got her back. We're going to defend her. And I know the younger libertarian-minded people would be like, oh, officers having each other's back. Fuck that thin blue line. Down with the thin blue line. But I disagree. I get it. You protect your own. And so I get it, but you can't cover it up from the American people when we saw it in the footage. You can't gaslight us and tell us it didn't happen. I'd be more understanding if they came out and they said, this is what happened, and she's devastated, and it was a mistake, and we're going to look into it. The end. And then maybe she says, I'm sorry, but my partner was down. I was focused on him, and then I couldn't watch my 6. I jumped. I would respect that. I don't respect trying to bury it and hide it from people and act like we're the crazy ones when we say this happened. But anyway, let's try to find this manifesto. I think he talks about it in this video. Here we go.
Male romance, sexual. That's the motivation, because the media will misrepresent it. It's not being talked about a lot in American media. That's pretty telling. But even in Canadian media, they will black out certain aspects. So let me just give you the short end of it. The shooter is a communist.
Yeah.
He's a communist who's also a black pillar. So they'll try and say he's an incel.
They'll say he's a manosphere incel right-wing guy.
And say he's part of the red pill community. They'll try and say he's part of the manosphere. This person is a communist. He is a Marxist. He's a self-avowed Marxist-Leninist. And he argues that male romance, sexual, romantic deprivation are the byproducts of capitalism. So let me read this to you. He says, put it quite simply, capitalism is a system based on the continual profit of a select few people who are the bourgeois class, and it was ultimately the case that the widespread practice of monogamy simply proved to be less monetarily profitable for the bourgeois than hypergamy did. So he's a communist, he's a Marxist. Okay. Then this idea of blackpilling, of people who are, actually anti-woman, not people who believe in complementary gender roles, not people who believe in the nuclear family, who believe in traditional views of women.
Okay, I don't want to hear his whole breakdown.
Becoming wealthier, becoming more cultured. To obtain this female intimacy, the common male seeks to improve himself. The avenues of improvement which these males enter are those which are laid out openly in Western society for any male wishing to socially advance. Namely, things along the lines of becoming wealthier, becoming more cultured, lifting weights, acting more confidently, dressing better, and other similar things which do not alter the core factors that truly decide male attractiveness, which are tall height, just say height.
Oh, God, here we go. He said there's some clavicular stuff in here. He's a looks-maxer. He's an incel looks-maxer. Oh, God.
The handsomeness of the face and race, or, in other words, things in which fertile females perceive actual genetic quality, because they are things which cannot be altered easily in nature. There's some truth to that, but again, there's nothing you can do. You're going to tell me that
he just listed off things he could do. Go to the gym, make more money, dress nicer, get a haircut, take a shower. He listed off the things you can do to fix it.
You will not increase your odds if you actually want a mate, if you actually want to find a wife, and a man who finds a wife finds that which is good. You mean to tell me that getting in better shape, you mean to tell me that basic grooming principles, you mean to tell me that being successful in your professional endeavors, you mean to tell me that being more disciplined, being more articulate, being more confident, having more to offer will improve your chances? None if you're short?
I really don't care what this guy's thoughts on,
It's just not true. Sure, there will be some limitations. It's like saying, hey, you can never be Floyd Mayweather. You can never be Tyson Fury. You can never.
Floyd Mayweather's short and annoying, but he can fight. He can throw them things, boy.
Never be Conor McGregor because they have gifts from God. Sure, but you can't become any more capable at defending yourself. Let's eliminate world champion. Let's eliminate Chads, the 6'5", 7-figure incomes, right? who just have perfect symmetry. Let's eliminate that. Let's eliminate the world champions. You don't think that you can make yourself better than 99% of the population? Let's reduce it. 90? 80? Here's how you know this person is a leftist. They haven't put in the work, if that's what they believe. This is also why it's very, very important for young men to fail and to build themselves up. It's the only way to build actual confidence. And so this...
All right. How old was this guy? The shooter. Let's just see a basic. Well, I have a timeline here.
Tonight's chilling footage shows the dramatic final moments when a gunman opened fire on police and bystanders.
They even show it on NBC News
in Montreal. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The video's so graphic, we cannot show you most of it. You see an officer.
Now, that was the civilian. So they ran this on NBC Nightly News. But this is like the day it happened, before they knew all the details.
Shot, another officer crouching for cover, gun drawn as shots ring out. In a separate video, you hear a terrified eyewitness. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
That is the civilian.
You see a bystander drop to the ground, the body of the police officer nearby. What appears to be the suspect, wearing camouflage and armed with a rifle, rushes toward the other officer. The suspect eventually shot dead. Montreal police say officers had responded to a 911 call of shots fired and a gun protruding from the window of a hotel. Officials say the suspect opened fire on police when they arrived. They say an officer and bystander...
How is the gun protruding from the window of the hotel? The guy was out on the street. Did they call and he was in the window? But he never shot nobody. So he's just sitting with his gun hanging out the window of a hotel. At some point, the cops get called, show up, and he comes out. That's what... It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If he was up in a hotel room and he's like sniping, he would have killed a lot more people. What, is he just sitting with his gun hanging out the window? And then how does he get to street level with the cops?
Were killed. Eyewitness Heidi Doctor's 2 kids were getting a haircut nearby.
Nauseous.
We're definitely not being told everything about this event.
I mean, knowing that my son literally was on his scooter on that street with no protection.
You've said it 8 times, Auntie. Yes, I see it.
I just don't. I haven't processed it yet.
Police have yet to release the names of the victims.
I can't answer every message when I'm doing a show.
McLaughlin, NBC News.
We thank you for watching.
All right.
Remember, stay
So
updated
NBC
on
Nightly News showed it, but then they didn't talk about it. Let me see this timeline real quick. Police officer and a civilian were killed on Monday. Here's a recap of what happened. Now, I think that did the shooter turn his gun on himself? Following a shooter in Montreal's Côte des Neiges neighborhood that left a police officer and a civilian dead on Monday, many questions remain unanswered about the suspect's motives and the sequence of events. Here's a recap of what happened. This is not a very thorough recap. Wait, yeah, I guess it is. It goes down farther. 11:35 a.m., police receive a 911 call of a person with a gun at a Hilton hotel. Person who made the call is a citizen who saw the gun being pointed out of a window and heard gunshots near Trans Island and Decourtrai Avenues. Police officers arrive at the scene and a gunfight ensues. Multiple people are shot. 12:30. That's a big jump. 11:30. That's an hour jump, and all the stuff happens in that first hour. So what are they telling us about for these next hours? 12:30, Quebec issues a emergency alert warning of an armed and dangerous suspect, instructs Montrealers in the area to shelter in place. St. Joseph's Oratory is evacuated. Expressways are closed. Metro services disrupted. In a post on X, Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal. Hey, that's how you get my attention. Kokomo, thank you for the $5. Suspect has been neutralized, and 2 police officers and 1 civilian have been injured. In a post on X, blah, blah, blah. The police officer has been killed. He is later identified as Mohammed Lamine Ben Redouane. 34-year-old victim had been a member of the force since 2021, the police officer who died. Security Minister Ian Lafreniere speaks to reporters, confirming that the scene is a crime scene and that a crisis management team has been deployed. 3 p.m., Montreal Police Chief Fady Dagger holds a news conference and shares what he knows about the event with reporters. In addition to the death of the police officer, Dagger says a civilian has also been killed. The victim was later identified as 68-year-old Michael Mizrahi. Michael. At the news conference, Dagger says a female officer who was in critical condition is now in stable condition. Both officers' family have been informed of the news. Continuing to search, secure the area. So, see, the officer says nothing about this. Lone suspect is dead. Long gun's been seized. 3:15, the emergency is lifted. 6:30, police watchdog announces it launched an investigation. 12:40 p.m. on Tuesday, the shooter's identified. Suspect identified as Seth Scott Hatfield of Lethbridge, Alta. So that's the timeline, and they don't say anything about that. So, yeah, the police force is going to hold it tight to their chest. The media is going to hold it tight to their chest because they think it's sexist to report on something like that. The police force is going to keep it tight to their chest because they're going to protect their own. And I understand that from the police more than the media. The media shouldn't be doing that. Don't do that, media. All right. And then we have one other shooting, just because last week was Juneteenth. And I told you there's going to be at least one shooting on Juneteenth. And it's Chicago. It's always Chicago. And Trump had something to say about this.
Chicago was supposed to be celebrating a holiday marking freedom, a weekend of community gatherings, a moment of reflection on America's past. Instead, the city witnessed another eruption of gun violence. At least 38 people were shot.
Yeah, well, when you throw block parties and have all these black people partying away their oppression in Chicago, yeah, there's going to be a lot of shootings. Plus, it's warming up. It's summertime. Summertime, living's easy. Shoot the block up on my ops, we'll see.
7 people were killed. And now, the bloodshed has reignited one of America's most divisive political debates. Should the federal government intervene in Chicago? Over the course of a single weekend, police recorded more than 24 shooting incidents across the city. The dead included a 21-year-old man shot in the chest on June 21st, an 18-year-old killed on June 20th, and a 50-year-old man fatally shot on June 19th. But the incident that drew the most attention happened on Juneteenth, a holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States.
What a horrible, ironic message here. Juneteenth, the day where we celebrate freeing the slaves. A bunch of black gang violence.
States. What should have been a night of celebration quickly turned into chaos. According to Chicago police, an SUV pulled up alongside a crowd gathered on a city street. 2 people inside opened fire. Within seconds, 12 people had been hit by gunfire. 8 men and 4 women were wounded.
You watch your mouth.
The victims ranged in age from 17 to 47 years old. Multiple hospitals across Chicago
Happy
were forced
Juneteenth,
to receive
guys.
and treat the injured. Mayor
Hope everybody had a great Juneteenth last week and you didn't get shot.
Brandon Johnson later described the shooting as a horrific act of violence. He vowed that those responsible would be held accountable.
Here we go. Trump. What you got to say about it, Trump?
But as investigators searched for suspects, the violence triggered a political firestorm. President Donald Trump seized on the shootings to once again call for a tougher federal response. In a post on Truth Social, Trump questioned why Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker was not asking for federal help.
Lots of killing going on in Chicago. 22 people shot, at least 4 dead. Why isn't Governor Pritzker calling me for help? I could make Chicago a safe city in 1 month. In 1 year, it would be one of the safest. They say the most safest. D.C. went from one of the worst to one of the safest cities in the U.S. President Donald J. Trump.
Trump went even further, claiming he could make Chicago safe within a month and transform it into one of America's safest cities within a year. The comments revive a long-running dispute between Trump and Democratic leaders in Illinois. For years, Trump has argued that major American cities suffering from violent crime require stronger federal intervention. His critics say such proposals undermine local authority and oversimplify complex social problems. Governor Pritzker has repeatedly rejected previous suggestions of military-style intervention.
Of course, he likes the crime in his city and the homeless people, the gang violence, the illegal immigrants. That's how guys like him get elected.
This latest outbreak of violence is likely to deepen that clash. Yet the numbers tell a more complicated story. While shootings have increased slightly compared to the same period last year, overall violent crime in Chicago has generally been trending downward in recent years. That mirrors broader national trends across the United States. In other words, Chicago continues to struggle with gun violence, but it is not necessarily becoming more dangerous overall. Still, statistics offer little comfort to communities affected by the latest shootings, especially on a weekend meant to celebrate freedom and progress. The violence also came just hours after former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama welcomed visitors to the
She must be on Ozempic. She looking thin. Also, there are rumors that the Obamas might sue Paramount, UFC, Dana White, and Josh Hokett because Hokett said Obama's a man. It's possible. It might happen.
Obama Presidential Center on Chicago's South Side, a moment intended to showcase renewal and hope. Instead, headlines quickly shifted back to crime.
Look at that hiding behind this giant wall of plate glass. Nobody's trying to kill you fools.
Who is responsible? For now, police continue to search for answers. Politicians continue to trade blame. And Chicago finds itself once again at the center of America's debate over crime, policing, and public safety.
All right. So yeah, shootings over Juneteenth weekend. Nothing too crazy. I mean, 12 shootings or 12 people injured in shootings, drive-bys. You know, they're not very accurate. They never hit their target. They're always like, that's why their death toll's not high, because they as high as like some of the big, you know, they always say mass shooters are young white men. Which is not true. Gang violence, if you counted that as mass shootings, they would kill a lot more. But they don't, because that would be racist. It'd be racist to say that black people commit the most mass shootings. So they don't call gang violence mass shootings, or it's not qualified as a mass shooting because there needs to be like 3 casualties or like 3 injuries, or something. They change the number all the time. And so what happens is they don't hit enough people. They just let it spray on the block. And you know, they do a drive-by. You got one guy with a sawed-off shotgun, one guy with a snub-nosed 380, and one guy with a Draco, and they're all hanging out of a Cadillac, just sideways out the window. And they paralyze a 6-year-old guy in his wheelchair, gets hit in his numb leg, so he doesn't even know he got shot. And then maybe like the target's mom dies or something. So there's 1 death, and they don't count it as a mass shooting. And it's not even the person they were aiming at. Tyrell comes out just fine, but his mom's dead. His niece is like, can't ride her bike anymore. Welcome to the hood. That is how it goes. That's how it be in the hood. What's up, Steve? All right, we're going to move on. We got earthquakes. We got earthquake news. So we had I believe it was a 6.7 in Japan, and then a 7.1, I think, in Venezuela. Ring of fire earthquakes all up around here. Japan, the Philippines, Venezuela, California, Venezuela. This is the ring of fire. This is a fault line. It's a dangerous fault line. Magnitude 5.7 quake struck about 4 miles north of Oshino, Japan. Oshino, Japan. At a depth of 32 miles around 10:30 p.m. local time, and was felt in Tokyo, according to USGS. No damage has been reported. Earlier, a magnitude 6.5 earthquake struck 33 miles below the surface just off the southern coast of Mindanao in southern Philippines around 7:30 p.m. local time Friday. There was no immediate word on the extent of any damage or injuries. The quake in the same region as a magnitude 7.8 earthquake on June 8th that killed at least 61 people. 7.8 in the Philippines. Now, the one in Venezuela, I think, was a 7.1, but I guess just their infrastructure is not right, and they're not built for that sort of thing. And I think the death toll there is in the thousands. Nicaragua registered a magnitude 5.2 earthquake at a depth of 75 miles, about 20 miles southwest of the capital of Managua, and no significant damage reported. These strong earthquakes follow major earthquakes in Venezuela and Japan earlier this week. The back-to-back magnitude 7+ earthquakes that struck Venezuela midweek were the strongest to hit the country since 1900. Let's see this.
At 7:30 a.m. local time on June 25th.
Well, this is the Japan one, but let's see a video of the Venezuela one first. This is just drone footage. It's devastation. This is the Venezuelan quake. We'll watch one about the Japan quake in a second, but it wasn't nearly as bad as this one. Look at this. The whole side of their apartment building is gone. LaGuardia. Bro, this person looks like me flying a drone. Devastation. Look at that. That's crazy. So earthquakes all over the Ring of Fire, Philippines, Japan, Venezuela, California. Lots of destruction. Are we in the end times or what? All right. Let's look at this Japan one first. I just want to make a little recording there. We're going to watch the Legion of Coom 2 all the way also.
Fifth, a strong magnitude 6.9 earthquake struck offshore.
What is this voice?
A magnitude 9.5 earthquake just simply hit the coast of Japan. Wow.
Of northern Honshu in Japan. This made the ground subsequently move back and forth for at least 15 seconds.
Is this AI?
This made the ground subsequently move back and forth for 15 degrees. Wow. Miss Piggy.
Across a wide area, making items fall off of shelves, creating limited minor damage, and causing a few, but overall low number of injuries. Despite the...
Stop fighting, ladies. You need to calm down. There's plenty of me to go around.
Fairly high magnitude of the earthquake which struck, its offshore location and intermediate rather than shallow depth meant that its effects were not severe. That magnitude 6.9 earthquake just so happened to denote one of the 10 largest earthquakes to occur so far in 2026, and strangely enough,
just a coincidence?
A single 26-minute time span where two other of 20.
Okay, I can't listen to this guy. So, Japan earthquake. I thought I had video of it, but it's not. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to the Venezuela quake because the Japan one was not nearly as bad. I just wanted to show you that there's been a bunch of them, not just the Venezuela one this week. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Death toll in Venezuela nears 1,500 people. LaGuardia state hardest hit. Opposition promoted website listed just under 50,000 people unaccounted for on Sunday. Damn. Survival chances dropped sharply after 72 hours. Yep. Swiss rescuers say, let's see this video. We got rescues? No audio. Rescuers pull survivors from the rubble 4 days after two powerful quakes hit Venezuela. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? 4 days under a rock and then they finally pull you out. It'd be the most boring, uncomfortable 4 days ever. That'd be.
Find your inner anthem.
The heck is this? That would be worse than a dang road trip with your annoying sister. Did you make the right decision with the drone situation? Yeah, I made the only decision. Rescue teams raced on Sunday to find more survivors of the two powerful earthquakes that struck Venezuela this week. with signs of life bringing occasional relief to a grim quest to whittle down a list of tens of thousands missing. The death toll from Wednesday's twin earthquakes neared 1,500 people as foreign rescue teams poured into LaGuardia, the hardest hit state of a country long mired in deep political and economic crisis. Dozens of buildings collapsed into piles of sand and rubble in the coastal state about 40 kilometers north of Caracas. Rescue and recovery efforts are ongoing. Today, Sunday, we have recovered people alive, and therefore operations are not being suspended. We always maintain hope, said interim President Delcy Rodriguez. Delcy, after announcing a presidential commission that would determine the habitability of buildings. Delcy's not the one we want. Flanked by several of her ministers, Rodriguez said school classes would be suspended for one more week, and the electricity supply in LaGuardia had been restored to 75%. Well, it's easy to get your electrical supply restored when you eliminated 75% of the buildings. The government headed by Rodriguez, since her predecessor was ousted by the U.S., ousted? That's a good word for kidnap. In a January raid, had thanked civilian volunteers ferrying aid to LaGuardia, but then tightening access to the road, saying traffic was preventing efficient movement of emergency vehicles. Earlier, Jorge Rodriguez, the active president's brother and president of the National Assembly, said the death toll rose by 20 people on Sunday to reach 1,450. He added that 3,150 people remained injured, 12,721 had been displaced, and 774 buildings had collapsed. Damn! We are in critical hours. We are in critical hours. In crucial hours to continue rescuing lives and to build camps where those people who have lost their homes or cannot return for whatever reason to their residences can stay, he said. Families and volunteers spent days pulling survivors and bodies from the rubble before the arrival of more than 2,600 foreign rescue workers, often complaining of scant heavy equipment and a limited official presence as hundreds of aftershocks deepened damage and kept residents on edge. So far this weekend, the government said at least 33 people had been rescued by Saturday evening, including several children, while tens of thousands remained unaccounted for. Father and his son were pulled out alive from the rubble of a collapsed building on Sunday as rescue workers raced against the clock to find more survivors. Although the government has given a figure of hundreds missing or trapped, just under 50,000 people were listed as unaccounted for on a website promoted by the country's political opposition on Sunday, a slight decline from 55,000 people a day earlier. Limited time finding survivors, we get all that. Look at this. This is some streamer. Just a streamer.
Earthquake. Wait.
Earthquake.
What the f is that? Earthquake in real? Whoa. Earthquake, I'm not kidding.
Earthquake.
Okay.
She turned off her game so you can't hear her friend's response. I would have left the game on so that if anything happens, you can yell to the people in the game. I don't know. What are they going to do? Call the Venezuelan 911 to help you? A rollerblading person? No.
At first, I thought it was like,
Am I a rollerblading? A fruit booter? No, I'm not a fruit booter.
It wasn't a big thing. So that's why I stayed there, and I was like, "Oh, it's the ground is sort of shaking." But then it started getting harder and harder.
That is kind of true, Auntie. They told me not to do it. I had to do it.
I could feel the ground moving, and my first instinct was like, I have a ton of stuff behind me. It can probably fall on me. I'm just gonna leave everything. People were laughing. That I even got a chance to close the game, but because Venezuela is not really a country where we get a lot of earthquakes from this magnitude.
Okay, nobody cares. You're alive, you're fine. Your neighbors are buried in rubble right now, and you're back on the stream. Anyway. Race continues. Venezuela's double earthquake struck fault scientists had flagged. Yeah, it's called the freaking Ring of Fire. It's been flagged by scientists since we knew what it was. Centuries of strain had built up on faults in the region, making them overdue for a major rupture. Frank Aldermard, oh my gosh, I don't need to hear all this editorialization. Earthquake struck, felt 2 sudden jolts. He put on his flip-flops and shouted for his family to get out of the house. Wednesday's earthquake was actually 2 separate ruptures, magnitude 7.2 and magnitude 7.5, that occurred just 39 seconds and 5 kilometers apart in northern Venezuela, killing at least 900 people. This is way earlier in the week, and injuring thousands more while causing widespread building damage across the region. The quakes occurred where the Caribbean tectonic plate grinds eastward relative to the South American plate along a multitude of faults. But they didn't really surprise Audemars. He had seen them coming. In a 2017 study in tectonics, he and his colleagues had studied the slip rate of one of the faults within the plate boundary, the Bocono fault, going back thousands of years. They found that the fault had not ruptured since a devastating magnitude 7.1 earthquake in 1812 that leveled Caracas, which meant strain had been accumulating on the fault for 2 centuries. The resulting slip deficit, they estimated, was enough to produce a magnitude 7 to magnitude 7.9 earthquake. The earthquake duo that hit this week is like the 1812 earthquake's brother, Aldemar says. Yeah, you can see this. We used to do this in school. If you get 2 pieces of like rock and you push them against each other and then start to slowly slide them, eventually it'll pop. You can move it slowly, but if you push them real hard against each other and then you start trying to slide it, it pops ahead. It skips. If you take 2 rocks and you push them against each other and then try to slide them like this, they'll skip. That's what the slit deficit means, that it's not sliding. It hasn't slid in a long time, and it's meant to. It's gonna, one of these days it's gonna pop. And when it does, you get a big old earthquake. Venezuela's seismic infrastructure was once the most advanced and densest in the region, Higgins says. Now it's spotty to non-existent. Said Audemars has been closely following reports coming from seismic instruments in the United States and Europe, but based on the intervals between the waves he felt on Wednesday, he believes the second quake ruptured much closer to Caracas than first reported by the U.S. Geological Survey. He and his family are safe. This is a live summary. Earthquake death toll rises as search for survivors continues. Death toll has passed 1,700. This is a live update, but I think it's from this morning. Past 1,700. Venezuela's National Assembly President Jorge Rodriguez has said, adding tens of thousands of people have been left missing. United Nations says the death toll will unavoidably and sadly increase. It's obtaining 10,000 body bags as part of its rescue operation. More than 500 aftershocks have been recorded in the country. Families have been digging through rubble with their hands, crowbars, mallets, and pickaxes as the crucial 72-hour window to find people alive has passed. The stories of miraculous rescues have also emerged from the rubble. A 21-year-old man has been rescued after being trapped for 106 hours. A small startled dog was also pulled from the wreckage of an apartment building. I think they have a video of that one that's been going around.
Over 900 people are dead and tens
This is the last video.
still missing in Venezuela after following 2 massive
Oh wait, now I got one more.
on Wednesday. Crews
Look at
from the
that.
U.S. arriving in the devastated country yesterday to assist in relief.
Look at that building. That whole freaking plaza is leveled. And it looks like, I don't know if this is traveling right along the fault line, but like you can almost see like a crack in the earth. I don't think there's really a crack in the earth there, but it looks like that's just like on the fault line.
In Venezuela after following 2 massive earthquakes on Wednesday. Crews from the U.S. arriving in the devastated country yesterday.
They have like no heavy equipment there.
assist in relief efforts. Chanley Painter joins us now with the details. Good morning, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, Charlie. So far, hundreds of U.S. search and rescue specialists have been sent to Venezuela to...
Look, I don't see a single piece of heavy equipment. I don't see an excavator. I don't see a dozer. I don't see a dump truck. I don't see nothing. Now, you probably don't want to be driving heavy equipment on top of this rubble, but you can you don't have any sort of heavy equipment?
The help and recovery efforts after the back-to-back earthquakes Wednesday.
Wow, look at that.
The lives of at least 920 people. More than 3,300 others are injured and another 51,000 are missing. The Pentagon has sent...
And there's no warning time on that. All those buildings that are collapsed sideways were probably filled with people. That's crazy.
Transport planes, helicopters, and 2 ships, while Space Force is providing satellite imagery of devastated areas to relief planners.
We're helping Venezuela. They had a tremendous earthquake, a lot of people killed, and unbelievable, right in Caracas. And we have a lot of people over there helping.
Venezuela says there are also more than 860 volunteers from at least a dozen countries around the world that have arrived so far in an effort to help the Venezuelan authorities, who appear to be overwhelmed by the massive scale of this disaster. The United Nations has said it is sending 1,000 emergency responders in 25 search and rescue teams from across the globe who are also on their way. And as of this morning, authorities say they have rescued...
There's the doggy.
243 people.
Look at that little doggy.
People working around the clock. And this is video of firefighters giving a trapped dog water before digging it out of the rubble to safety. And yesterday, another 4.7 earthquake was reported off the Venezuelan coast, guys. Back to you, Charlie.
So tragic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chanley.
Wow, so tragic.
More than
This is a rescuers video. Let's see the rescuers.
1,400 people have been declared dead from Wednesday's powerful earthquakes in Venezuela, but survivors...
So they got hit with another 5.7 off the coast? Dang. Dude, this is the apocalypse, guys. Earthquakes, strange storms, strange fire.
Survivors are still being found alive today. This is video of Virginia Task Force 1 helping to rescue a mother and a baby yesterday.
That place is going to start stinking soon. That's horrible. That's horrible to think about. Thank you for just giving me a nightmare thought, but you're right. Yeah. It's going to stink. That's going to be the smell of death everywhere. Damn.
From the rubble. And today,
look at this.
Angela Bohan,
this one's pretty crazy. The baby and the mom
spoke with a member of the task force as they were performing another rescue.
This is the kind of life-saving work that the Fairfax County, Virginia Urban Search and Rescue Team is performing. In addition to the 9-month-old baby, the mother is pulled from the rubble, glasses still on her face, as people cheered. John Morrison was one of the first responders.
It was a very emotional experience, and it's great when
she's holding her hand over her eyes because she's probably blind right now. You got me staring straight at the sun. I've been in the dark for 4 days.
All of the residents around you and the Venezuelans are clapping.
That is pretty cool, though, that they saved her and the baby. Got them out.
Along because they're happy that these rescues are occurring. They were entombed, but not injured at all. And so they were able to move around just a little bit, but they just couldn't get out of that structure.
And while he was taking a quick moment to do this interview with...
It must be so scary digging these people out. And that's probably another reason why maybe you wouldn't want heavy equipment, because you're in this tomb and then they start pulling rocks out to dig you out. Any one rock moved could cause the whole thing to collapse. And if you had like a big dozer and you were lifting up plates of concrete or slabs of concrete and you're lifting them up and you have the weight of the dozer, it probably could cause cave-ins to happen easier. But damn, that would be so scary.
With 10 on your side, Morrison said his Virginia-based teammates were helping local Venezuelan crews to save another woman from the apartment building he was standing near just outside Caracas. Morrison says she's able to speak, and rescuing her is a day-long process.
So now it's basically taking little parts of the building apart. And so we have a structural engineer that's with us, so we can do that as safely as possible while shoring the building up so the parts we remove aren't going to make the building collapse any further.
As rescues and recoveries are happening, two Hampton Roads-based nonprofit organizations, Operation Blessing and Mercy Chefs, have deployed teams to Venezuela.
There's a lot of confusion on the ground. There's a lot of despair, and people are just frantic to find their loved ones.
Mercy Chefs already has 5 permanent feeding sites in the country, so they could quickly jump into action.
For the first responders, getting a hot meal keeps them going. I mean, it is fuel for their engines. They can't do what they do unless they're being fed and taken care of.
Mercy Chefs is helping a hospital who lost its kitchen in the earthquake, and Operation Blessing has also taken over a vacant restaurant in Caracas to serve thousands of meals. They also brought a team trained in providing clean water, as well as medical experts.
I think there was 12, if I'm not mistaken, hospitals that were damaged. You've got a lot of people who aren't able to go back into their homes or even into the hospitals that might have been damaged because of...
Dang. Craziness in Venezuela with the earthquake. All right. Let's get off of these natural disasters. Or no, we're not done with the natural disasters. We have to talk about this heat wave in Europe. Record heat wave disrupts Europe as France warns death tolls rise. Let me close some of these windows. Sorry. All right, let's look at this heat wave. Record heat wave disrupts Europe as France warns death toll to rise. From Reuters. This is crazy. French health agency reports 1,000 excess deaths, warns of more. Did you know the majority of the deaths in Europe come from heat waves? Or climate-related deaths, I think? Something like that. It's in here somewhere. Temperature records hit in Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, and Austria. Extreme heat causes disruption to transport, power generations. Forecasters expect cooler weather in Western Europe this week. 1,000 excess deaths. French Public Health Agency said most of the heat-related fatalities involved older people and warned the number was expected to rise as more details become available about deaths in residential care and private homes. So they don't have air conditioning, which I don't get it. Fossil fuels emissions have rapidly worsened European heat waves in just a few decades. We'll get to this at the end, but basically, it's all climate change's fault. Guys, it's climate change. It's global warming. I thought we were on global cooling. I guess we're back to global warming now, or we're just calling it climate change. But the real question here, why don't they have air conditioning in Paris? What is this, a third world country?
It's 40 degrees right now here in Paris. It's hotter than Thailand, and the only thing I have is un ventilateur, a fan, in 2026. France literally just recorded its hottest day, its hottest week ever since the 1940s. I'm French.
Was she talking into a fortune cookie? Or a tostada? Was she talking into an empanada? I think that's a hair clip.
I live here. Today, let's explore the real reasons why, and it's not just because the buildings are old. Air conditioning is genuinely rare across all of Europe, and only about 20% of Europeans have ACs inside their homes. Meanwhile,
well, what's wrong with them? God gonna turn them black? They need some melanin.
in the US, it's 90%. So some Americans who are watching the news right now, they're completely horrified, and also my friends in Asia.
No, I'm from Florida. I'm not horrified at 100 degrees. It's not impressive. I think they hit 112. Dude, I knocked doors all day doing door-to-door sales in Macon, Georgia, where it was 112 degrees all day long. I'm from Florida. Our humidity will take a dump on your 112. They'll say it's 101 degrees outside, but it feels like 125. Bitch, if it feels like 125, it's 125.
As well, but for us French, la clim, AC is just not a thing. Question is why? As I said, it goes deeper than just the old building. Quick thing first, because a lot of people don't realize what an AC and air conditioning involves. There are two.
You don't need to give me the breakdown of how air conditioning works. Okay, I don't care so much about this video. But look, let's see all these Paris people trying to buy a dang fan. It heats up. They out here trying to get a fan in Paris. It's not in this video, but I seen another video where it's like Black Friday over there. They open the doors to the Sears and everybody's rushing in, fighting grandmas over air conditioning units. Darty Electronics Store. 50 people lined up to get an air conditioner. Hoping to buy a fan or an air conditioner as a historic heat wave sweeps across France. Doors are opening. A fan. Hi, man, I can't wait to get a fan. $94? Oh, that's French money. Bro, I don't know what French money is, but 94 is way too high of a money number for this. Actually, even in America, I was looking at fans at Walmart one day. They're pretty expensive here, too. These people just grabbing fans. Where's the people getting the AC units? They got black people in France? What you talking about? Oh, here we go. These people got the right idea. They found a dang unit. They don't... Does that have the tube that hooks up to your window? They don't have window units? That's an air conditioner. But yeah, those other people are just buying fans. They don't have window units in France? What the heck? Swamp coolers? Swamp cooler? Window unit? Nothing? What is wrong with you, France? France. And it's all climate change's fault, by the way, guys. Duh. It's hot outside. Global warming. Duh. See, I believe in global warming. I just call it summertime. You know? It gets hot in the summertime. Shit. Has a tube to... Yeah, that's what I have. No, that's air conditioning. If it has the tube that goes to the window like the dryer, like I have 2 of them, those are air conditioning units. Air condizione. Just weeks after a severe heat wave that broke all-time May records, Europe is experiencing another major heat wave that is breaking June and annual records. Annual records? This is particularly remarkable given that June is not historically the hottest month in Western Europe. Oh, it's about to get hotter, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till White History Month. Across France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and southern England, temperatures are reaching 5 to 12 degrees Celsius, above seasonal average. I don't know what that means. I don't speak commie language. Driven by a persistent high-pressure system, the pattern has transported hot air from North Africa into... Oh, my God. So they're getting immigrants and hot air from Africa. Somebody needs to get Africa in check. What is going on here? We got illegals from Somalia, and we got hot-ass weather. It's all Africa's fault. Intensified heat. Heat waves pose a serious threat to human health and profound impacts on ecosystems. During the summer of 2022, more than 60,000 people across Europe died as a result of extreme heat. Even in the following summer, which was significantly cooler, 47,000 heat-related deaths were recorded. Last year, the first heat wave in Europe, also hitting the end of June, cost an estimated 2,300 people their lives in only 12 European cities. Weekly European temperatures extremes. I'm not reading all this. In addition to direct impact on mortality, extreme heat affects ecosystems, infrastructure, services, and daily life. The high temperatures are pushing cooling demand to its highest level in at least 45 years, while significantly increasing wildfire risk, particularly in Spain and France. Straits Times of 2026 is the source on that. France has been among the hardest hit countries, already reporting at least 40 fatalities, widespread school closures, canceled outdoor events, and major rail disruptions as the extreme heat leads to thermal expansion of tracks and disruption to overhead power lines. Dry conditions aren't intensifying, with soil moisture approaching record seasonal lows and emergency medical calls rising by 20%. In the UK, East Surrey Hospital declared a critical incident due to surging demand, restricting services to life-threatening emergencies only. Italy has experienced heat-related deaths, increased emergency room emissions, and power outages linked to soaring air conditioning use, while healthcare and transport systems in Belgium and the Netherlands have faced growing strain and service disruption, blah, blah, blah. Where's the part about climate change? Main findings. Heat waves cause more deaths in Europe than all other natural hazards combined. That's what I was saying earlier. Natural disasters, heat waves kill the most people in Europe. As temperature continues to rise, aging populations, growing prevalence of chronic illness, and uneven access to cooling and heat-resilient housing are increasing vulnerability, placing mounting pressure on health systems. Uneven access to cooling. It's racist. Vulnerability to heat ranges across society. Heat is racist, by the way. Freddie's right. If you have melanin and you're from Africa, you ain't worried about no dang heat wave. Heat waves are racist. They kill white people. Ay caramba. Over the region studied this heat wave is comma, this heat wave is the most severe ever recorded. Maybe not a comma, but it needs a comma. In 1976, when some of the previous European records were set, the 2026 temperatures would have been virtually impossible to occur in June, while also highly unlikely at any time of the year. In 2003, the first major heat wave of this century, daytime heat like this would have still been very rare, about 10 times less likely than today. This means a similar heat wave in June would have been about 3.5 degrees cooler during the day in 1976 and about 2 degrees cooler in 2003. The nighttime temperatures would have been about 2.4 degrees cooler in June and about 1.3 degrees cooler in June of 2003. So it's global warming. Wet bulb globe temperature. I don't know what that means. To measure the combined effect of environmental factors on human heat stress, wet bulb globe temperature is used as a composite index, combining humidity, radiant heat such as direct sunlight, and air movement, all of which affect the body's ability to regulate its internal temperature through sweating and heat exchange. By capturing these interacting variables, WBGT provides a more physiological relevant assessment of thermal strain. Basically, this is explaining with a bunch of big words what feels like means, particularly during outdoor physical activity. Consequently, it is widely applied in fields such as sports science and occupational health. Basically, the wet bulb globe temperature is the feels like temperature. So they'll say your thermometer says it's 100 degrees outside, but your altitude, how close you are to the sun based off of the equator, direct heat rays, radiant heat from the sun, that's going to add feels like heat. No wind movement. If it's windy outside, it's going to feel cooler. If there's no wind, it's going to feel hotter. If it's humid, it's going to feel hotter. So all these things combined get your wet bulb globe temperature, which is your feels like temperature. So, hey, we learned something new. We figured out how we get to the feels like temperature, which I still think is bullshit, by the way. But I don't really care about watching this girl's 10-minute video about why French people don't have air conditioning, to be honest. So that's it for the main story news. I think God's gonna destroy the earth with fire. That's what it says. A pillar of fire. That is what it says. Right. What's next? The rapido fire. Rapid fire. Close that. Open this. Bookmarks. All right. What we got? We got some funny videos. Some funny reels. We got a couple funny reels for you. When you forget your... We got some funny videos for you. Here's some shorts. When you forget you're over 30, what's he going to do? Jump out the truck? Hold on. Where's the audio? You jump out the truck? Oh! Why is he see-through? He left his body. This man just left his body. He just jumped out his body. Oh, he did. He did. Dang. Somebody in the comments said I broke my middle finger putting pants on. Dude. And I'm supposed to wrestle Avarice. My sciatica's going to be acting up. My damn hernia is going to rupture. My dang, my spine is damaged. I'm going to jump out of my body. This man ain't in his body no more. He did. Okay. That was fun. All right. Let's move on. What else we got? This is just a guy an old head doing some flat ground Rodney Mullen-esque skateboard skills right now. I just like what he's doing with his hands the whole time. It's pretty funny. This dude's a beast. Watch this. Yo, the handstand off the truck stand is crazy. He's not done yet. Primo. Now flick it. Little tray flip. Nice. Pretty good. I give it a 8 out of 10. The hand motion was the best part. That's what made it for me. All right, what else we got? This is so funny. Okay, look at this little Asian kid. You need In the Arms of the Angel music for this one, but we don't have it. What's this? So this kid's got glasses on. He's like in an MMA class or something. This dude's kicking him in the face repeatedly. And then dad comes over and takes his glasses off. He can't see without his glasses. Where are his glasses? Watch. Coach takes his glasses off. Boom! Dead. One more time. Glasses off. He just dropped his homeboy. His homeboy just got dropped. That's awesome. What else we got? We got one more? Nope, that's it for the reels. That's it for the funny reels. But we do have... now we got some rapid fire news, and then we'll watch the Legion of Coom at the end. But let's get through this news first. Let me put this at the end. What do we got here? Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall. Personal fireworks are banned through July 5th. Now, what's interesting, because right now, we talked about this last week, but it has not gotten better. Southern Utah is on fire. Southern Utah is burning, and they're all coming north. Up here, everything's pretty good up north. I mean, we had the Bonneville fire right there, but it was just like a grass fire, and they kind of just let it burn out on its own. They left it 99% uncontained until it just burned out on its own. It was just like grass. The Cottonwood fire got pretty bad, and that's close to me. But down south, we got fires everywhere. They're evacuating people. And I guess they're all coming up to Salt Lake City or something. Hopefully not. But now look at this fireworks ban. Personal fireworks are banned through July 5th. Now, this is the first year that I get it. We had a very, very dry winter. After we've had a bunch of dry winters, but we had a really bad dry winter this past one. And we are going to be in a drought, and it is very dry out there, and we have fires everywhere. So I actually understand this firework ban, but the weird thing is they've only banned personal fireworks from July 2nd to July 5th. And if you know Utah, July, I think it's the 20th or the 30th is Pioneer Day. So July 4th is America Day. When is Pioneer Day? Let me see. I think it's the 30th. July 24th. So July 4th is America Day. July 24th is Utah Day. Pioneer Day is the day in Utah where we celebrate. I don't, but they celebrate Joseph Smith and Brigham Young and all them arriving in the valley. Apparently, the pioneers arrived in the valley on July 24th. Or at least that's the day we celebrate it. When the pioneers fled from America and they went into Mexican territory, they did the Mountain Meadows Massacre. They killed a bunch of people from Arkansas who were just like Indians. And then they took the land. Something like that. Somebody dressed up like Indians. And the Arkansas people, gold miners from Arkansas got slaughtered. 49ers, they were traveling, and the Mormons slaughtered like 1,400 of them. Mountain Meadows Massacre. Look it up. Anyway, so July, the point is 24th, 4th. From the 4th to the 24th, Utah be doing fireworks every night. It's crazy. I've never seen it like this anywhere else. They do fireworks all month long in July. And this year, from the 2nd to the 5th, they're not allowed to. Now, why wouldn't this extend? Also, why isn't active right now? It's not active right now. All the fires are burning right now, but this firework ban is not active right now. So I could do fireworks right now. But on the 2nd, I can't do fireworks. On the 4th, I can't do fireworks. But on the 6th and on the 1st, I can. Now, I know I said I understand why they're doing this year because of the drought and all the fires already and all that. But I know from living here for 12 years that our mayor, Aaron Mendenhall, hates the 4th of July. She hates America. She's a feminist, Marxist, commie, gobbledygook spewer, Black Lives Matter, LGBT, low IQ, WTF, STD, all that. She's into all that. She has a gender studies degree. That's her credentials to become our mayor. a gender studies degree, and she hates America. And she does this crap. She wants to do this crap every year. She's ended all the fireworks shows, and now we got these gay-ass laser shows and drone shows. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm at a rave. And also, I saw in Switzerland all those drones fall out of the sky. That might land on somebody's head. So I don't like that. I like fireworks. And I know my mayor hates fireworks and hates America, and she's so happy to enact this. She's like, we have fires by around 4th of July time. Oh my God, I can finally ban the fireworks for real this time. Because she tries to every year. We've talked about this like 4 years in a row. Every year before 4th of July, I always talk about how my mayor hates America and hates fireworks. This year she's got a reason, but I know she's giddy about this. She's jumping for joy about this. She hates fireworks. There's going to be a fine. Anyway, so that's that story. We can't do fireworks this year. I was going to take my drone to the park and fly my drone on 4th of July and watch the drone show from my drone. Maybe try to interfere. No, that'd probably get me in trouble. But I could fly my drone up there and watch their drone show from my drone. But now I don't know if I'm going to have a drone on July 4th. I don't know if I'm going to have a drone by DebateCon, actually, because if they refund my money, I'm going to buy another one, and I'll have another one in like a week. If they don't refund my money, then I'm probably going to wait to buy one, because that means I'm just screwed. If they don't accept the return, then I want them to send it back. Maybe I can fix it. I could take it apart and watch a YouTube video or something. Water damage, I'd probably need to know how to solder or get a new board or something. But hopefully they'll refund. If they refund half of it, maybe I'll just turn around and buy another one. But of course they'll find a way. You want Utah to pay China the most money out of all the states for fireworks? Shut up.
Tonight, the alarming image.
What else we got in rapid fire news? A plane crashed into a building in Beijing. Don't worry, guys. It didn't melt the steel. The jet fuel did not melt the steel. The building stood.
Is a small plane crashing into the tallest building in Beijing, one of the tallest buildings in the world, in fact, and authorities tonight have not said whether it was deliberate or accidental. Here's Britt Clennett with the pictures.
Tonight, a small aircraft crashing into one of the world's tallest skyscrapers in Beijing. Shocking video circulating online showing chunks of debris.
See, I crashed a drone in my living room. They crashed a plane into the tallest building in the world. We're not alike, okay? Everybody freaking out, acting like I did something crazy, horrible. It's not that hard to crash your drone if you're flying it in your living room. It is hard to crash a plane into a building, though.
Falling to the ground below. The tail section of the two-seater Sunward Aurora dropping hundreds of feet. Flight Radar 24 sharing a partial flight path showing the plane had taken off from an airport 30 miles east of Beijing.
What is this? What is the beginning of this flight path? What is it? Hold on, you guys can't see it. What is that? You took off, you came this way, did a little roundabout, and then flew off over here. Why didn't you just take off and go this way?
East of Beijing, around 6 p.m. local time. Images showing what appears to be a large hole and broken glass.
I guess you can't expect them to make the best flight path decisions if they can't even avoid buildings.
Of the iconic 108-story CITIC Tower. Roads closed, fire engines and police vehicles seen outside. Video circulating online showing flames at the base of the building. Firefighters working to put it out.
That must have been where the scraps of the plane crashed down, because you see the plane falling out of the sky. That's what that fire's from.
Beijing airspace is closed to drones and civilian planes, leading to questions about the cause of the incident.
And David, Chinese authorities, they have yet to say anything about this crash, and all videos, images and posts related to the incident have been removed from the internet in China. David?
Scrubbed from the internet. That's incredible too. Britt, thank you.
Wow. All of the what has been removed?
Tonight, the alarming
have been removed related to the incident have about this crash, and all videos, images and posts related to the incident have been removed from the internet in China.
In China, oh.
David?
Scrubbed from the internet. That's incredible too. Britt, thank you.
Scrubbed from the internet in China, but we got it here in America. Banned in China. Damn, now my stream's going to get banned in China.
You.
I'll fly a drone better than you fly a drone. Speaking of Utah fires, I guess we should have had this one after I had them out of order. But this is a day ago. This is 1 day ago. So this is not from the same fires from last week. Some of them are the same fires. They've been burning this whole time. Actually, no, I think the Bonneville one's out. That the Cottonwood one, they're just letting it burn itself out. This is down south, I think. Eureka and down there. It's... They're making a wall of water. See, that's the water helicopter. They have these bags. That other water helicopter they were using in California on that building fire was like a dinky little water helicopter. Imagine if you were swimming in there and you got picked up on one of those, you'd be screwed.
Tonight.
Seems like it would take forever to put out a fire with bags of water like that. Before we watch the Legion of Coom, we have a bunch of stuff. So on the 23rd, there was a big day in Congress and Supreme Court for bills that we're trying to get passed through. Some things worked out, some things didn't. The ballot election stuff didn't work out for us. We didn't win that. But this one was a good one. Supreme Court win on TPS termination. That's temporary protected status. Temporary protected status was used by the Biden administration as a backdoor mixed with asylum. They would use TPS to get people in illegally, give them temporary protected status. They could vote and they could get on benefits and things like that in places like California and other places. And using TPS and asylum, it was a way to cheat the immigration system and get a bunch of illegals into our country. And the Supreme Court has terminated that. Supreme Court has delivered a major victory. Hold on, let me record that. No, too late. Supreme Court has delivered a major victory for American sovereignty, ruling that the Trump administration has full authority to terminate temporary protected status for Haitian migrants. Now, I think this is just for Haitians, but they actually came from, I listened to a thing on a Senate hearing or something, and he was talking about all the countries that were given TPS, and there's like people from like 20 different countries. Lots of people. So this one just deals with Haiti, but we need to get it for a lot more. Biden administration weaponized TPS as a backdoor amnesty to flood the country with millions of unvetted migrants, and that loophole is finally closed. This is the latest decisive win in President Donald J. Trump's relentless effort to end the border invasion and put American citizens first. Here are 60 key actions the Trump administration has taken as part of its historic America First border agenda. Well, I'm not going to read all these, but Supreme Court affirmed Trump administration has authority to remove green card holders who threaten American communities. They upheld the Trump administration's policy to swiftly turn back illegal aliens seeking asylum before they set foot on the U.S. soil. Supreme Court affirmed the Trump administration's full discretion over temporary protected status designations and terminations. There's a ton of things here. Tighten visa interview waiver categories. Move to establish a fixed time period of the completion of their program to 4 years, which is shorter for foreign students and exchange visitor visa categories. There's a ton of stuff in here. Enhance the SAVE program to ensure non-citizens cannot vote in U.S. elections. Systematic alien verification for entitlements. SAVE program. I did not know that's what that stood for. Anyway, lots of stuff. He's doing lots of good things. What else did the Supreme Court do? Supreme Court rejects Trump's push to toss $5 million verdict in E. Jean Carroll sexual abuse case. So, looks like Trump's going to have to pay out this crazy bat. She named her cat Vagina. Her dog is named Penis. Her cat is named Vagina. This crazy lady in a changing room at like a Burlington Coat Factory. No, not Burlington Coat Factory, but whatever department store they were at. He threw a finger up in her, and she just was raped in a changing room. Supreme Court rejected a push to throw out a jury's finding that he sexually abused the writer E. Jean Carroll at a New York City department store in the mid-1990s and later defamed her. High Court declined to take up the case in a brief, unexplained order, as is typical. Trump's lawyer had argued that allegations leading to the $5 million verdict were propped up by highly inflammatory evidentiary rulings, including those that allowed the testimony of 2 other women who accused Trump of sexual abuse decades ago. Trump has denied all 3 women's allegations. So he's got to pay her. Trump has successfully fended off other hefty court judgments, including a New York civil fraud penalty of over $500 million thrown out by a New York appeals court. So the Georgia case got thrown out. New York case got thrown out. The only thing that stuck, and this is the one they had to change the freaking statute of limitations just so they could hit Trump with this. He's going to have to pay this crazy bitch $5 million. It's ridiculous. So she got exactly what she wanted. She got it. She complained about something, even though we all know she's crazy. Everybody knows she's crazy. She's got TDS, and she knew she could make some money off of a little Me Too, and it worked. $5 million Me Too. There you go. Wow. Wow. That's ridiculous. Well, put Maryland in timeout. 1 minute in timeout, Maryland, just for being retarded. If you want to be a Marxist Jew hater, go somewhere else. Carroll's lawyers had urged the justices to pass on the case. They argued the women's testimony was relevant because the allegations were similar. Okay, enough of this story. Trump's got to pay this lady $5 million. It sucks, but it's true. Supreme Court allows states to count mail-in ballots that arrive. Supreme Court allows states to count mail-in ballots that arrive late, rejecting RNC challenge. This is one that did not go good. Justices ruled that a Mississippi law that allows ballots to be counted as long as they were sent by Election Day isn't prohibited under federal law. Rejecting a Republican National Committee challenge, the Supreme Court ruled Monday that election officials may count mail-in ballots that arrive after Election Day. We're trying to get this shit shut down. 5-4 vote. The court divided 5-4, held that Mississippi law challenged by the RNC does not unlawfully conflict with the federal law that sets Election Day in early November. The ruling authored by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, of course, is a setback for President Donald Trump, who has frequently criticized mail-in voting, claiming without offering evidence that it is rife with fraud. There is evidence, plenty of evidence. 2 of the court's conservatives were joined by the 3 liberals in the majority. Which of the 2 conservatives? Coney, Barrett and Alito? The decision avoids an election year upheaval of state election laws. The Mississippi law and similar measures in 13 other states will remain in effect ahead of November's midterm elections, when voters will decide which party controls the House and the Senate. The laws in question allow late arriving ballots to be counted as long as they were mailed by Election Day deadline. California, New York, and Texas are among the other states with such laws. Writing the dissent, Justice Samuel Alito argued that the decision could threaten election integrity and increase the risks of fraud. He said that the majority based its decision on a flawed understanding of the Election Day statutes. Election Day is a specified date, not a span of multiple days. So he wrote the dissent. So who voted? Which of the 2 conservatives voted to keep this? Or is it him and Barrett? Anyway, I'm not good with names. Let me see.
Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. We're coming on the air with breaking news at the Supreme Court, with the court issuing several major decisions. The justice is ruling that President Trump does not have the authority to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. It comes months after the president attempted to remove Cook from the Fed's Board of Governors after he accused her of mortgage fraud, a claim she denies. And in a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court also ruling that President Trump can fire Federal Trade Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter. Let's bring in our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. Laura, a little bit of a split decision almost there. So let's start and unpack Cook. Was this what you were expecting? What's in this decision from the court?
Savannah, a pair of monumental rulings here, landmark decisions as it relates to who the president can fire. Most of the decisions here.
You're fired. I can fire one, but I can't fire the other. That means I'm firing the other.
As it relates to Cook here, a blow to the president here, as it says that he cannot fire Lisa Cook, who is a member of the federal.
No, it's not a banned word. Marilyn's just annoying because she's always juiceburging constantly. And I told her it annoys me. Stop it. And she doesn't stop. So I put her in timeout for 60 seconds.
Reserve Board of Governors, the Supreme Court saying that essentially the Federal Reserve is different, and to accept the government's argument would essentially transform the Fed as we know it into at-will employment. It would be an interpretive step, to use the court's words, out of step with the statute that Congress.
I don't mind questioning the Jews, but it gets to a point where it's retarded and annoying.
Enacted for our nation's traditional understanding of the central bank, protected for political interference. Now, it's a different decision as it relates to Rebecca Slaughter. She was a member of the Federal Trade Commission. In that case, they're saying that the president actually can fire her. Now, you might wonder why the difference.
Oh, you're fired.
Really do.
I'm going to fire.
To see the Fed as different. Now, obviously, the president has been quite critical of the Fed. The president has said he wants to see interest rates come down, and the court is saying traditionally the Fed is supposed to remain independent, and today the court upholding that traditional and independence. Now, as it relates to Cook, it also bears mentioning here that there was a fair amount of process that the Supreme Court says just simply didn't happen. The president had said that she had engaged in mortgage fraud, something that she had repeatedly denied.
So is she the one he can fire or can't fire? Oh, you're fired. Oh, they're going to call him racist now again.
Fired her via social media, and today the court saying that wasn't enough. Cook was entitled to some explanation of the evidence at issue.
Oh, no, he can't fire her. He fired her on social media. My next truth, you're fired.
Some avenue for a response and a deadline by which that response would be due. So essentially saying you don't get to just fire her via tweet. She's entitled to more than that.
Oh, okay. I'll write her a letter then.
However, as it relates to Slaughter, it's a different story, Savannah. In this case, she too had protections under federal law, under a federal statute that said.
But she's white.
She could only be fired for if.
Of course, they're going to let him fire the white lady, but they won't let him fire the black lady, and it's the same situation with both. Racism. Anti-racism. This is reverse racism.
inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office. And on that score, again, as it relates to Slaughter, the court saying we hold that protection from removal is contrary to the separation.
Wow. You can't fire the black lady, but you can fire the white lady. I wish you could fire both of them.
Of powers enshrined in the Constitution. A number of different of these federal agencies, these multi-member boards, have those types of statutory protections with that type of language included. So it's not just about the FTC. It relates to all of these sort of multi-member, quasi-independent agencies. The president can fire people who are members of those boards.
What do you mean so much losing? Of all the bills and all the things that I've talked about, it's been half wins and half loses. Half and half. Half and half. I don't know if this is a Supreme Court thing that's going on right now. It's just a vote thing, but check this out. Massachusetts could become the first state to reverse marijuana legalization when it votes in November. Activists claim to have collected enough petition signatures to secure a question on ballot papers, which could potentially see the Bay State repeal the approval it gave in 2026. Wow. So they're not like, a lot of people are not liking the outcome of legalizing pot. Shocker. Oh, what is this? McAfee. Oh my God. I'm just going to stop because I don't know what pop-ups that thing will throw at me. That was like virus bait. Anyway. So, yeah, I want to read that, but they might repeal their legalization of pot in Massachusetts. That'll be interesting to keep my eye on. Anyway, we've got an update on the Reckless Ben situation, on the Bricks and Minifigs Reckless Ben Lego situation. Lawsuit against YouTuber in viral Lego case set to be dropped. Now, this is from News Nation. I've seen this from a couple sources, but it seems like, now this is not the charges. This is not the charges that the American Fork Police Force has against Ben, but these are the civil cases that Bricks and Minifigs has sued Ben, and the reason that he can't speak, the gag order that's been placed on him, and why he can't release the third part of his video may be coming out. The lawsuit against the YouTuber at the center of a series covering a missing Lego collection that went viral may soon be removed. Bricks and Minifigs has agreed to drop its case against Benjamin Schneider, known online as Reckless Ben, in favor of private mediation. A notice of dismissal was filed Friday in Utah's 4th District Court. If approved by a judge, Schneider would be free to speak publicly about the case again and release the third and final installment of his missing Lego collection series. We're all waiting for it. He can't release it right now because he's got a gag order because they've sued him. But they're going to drop that case. Now, he'll still have his legal issues with American Fork, but I think they're going to drop everything. And I think they should be sued by everyone who was in that house who got arrested without a warrant for arrest. They had a warrant to search the house for Legos. They did not have a warrant to arrest 5 people, 4 of which were unidentified. Nope. And you don't just get to walk in somebody's house and ID them. You have a warrant to search the house. You don't have a warrant to an arrest warrant for anybody. So, another tack on 1A. Yep. But so I think American Fork, they're going to drop all their charges, and then I think Ben and them should sue them. Bricks and Minifigs, they're tired of this is hurting their reputation. This is destroying their business. What you beat Ben in this lawsuit, you get a payout or something. It's not going to be enough for what you're going to lose from your reputation. People all over the country are going into Bricks and Minifigs stores now, trying to record content, getting in fights. We saw some guy got in a fight at a Bricks and Minifigs over this. He was yelling at the store owner about Reckless Ben in another state. Just got in a fight with a dude at the store over Reckless Ben. So Their reputation has taken a huge hit. They can't keep putting up with that. In order to look good and come off better in the public eye, they need to privately mediate with Ben. They need to say, hey, let's figure out how to set Brian straight. We're not going to sue you. And then put this in your final video that we did work it out in the end. Have a happy ending on part 3 or something. At least do something to recover your name, Bricks and Minifigs. And the American Fort Police, that's not going to be. Like, they have charges against Ben. Legit criminal charges that he did do. But they're nothing big. And what hit him with those charges, and then when he's going to sue you anyway, and he's going to make a crap load of money. So I think Ben and Brian Mansfield come out of this as the victors. And that's what we're hoping for. Let's watch this video.
So I've got some bad news for anyone who's been following the viral saga of that YouTuber who's been trying to recover a family's $200,000 Star Wars Lego collection.
It's not $200,000. It was like $107,000 tops. It was like 86 to 107 estimate.
Reckless Ben had him on the show. First videos he had on this racked up millions of views. Now says he's not allowed to release the highly anticipated part 3. Take a look.
Episode 3 is finally finished after crazy all-nighters and basically destroying my health. But I can't post it or I will go to jail. And not only that, I will also immediately lose my lawsuit of $300,000, and the GoFundMe we made for Brian will go straight to this mystery company that I am no longer allowed to talk about.
So Reckless Ben, real name Ben Schneider, goes on to explain that he was served a TRO, a temporary restraining order, via email from this mystery company, which we wonder, could it be Bricks and Minifigs? Thanks to Ben's earlier videos of the story, the company that's accused of withholding pay from an Oregon family who put their big money Lego collection up for sale through one of its franchises. Now, Bricks and Minifigs denies those claims, but when Reckless Ben started posting videos investigating this alleged theft, the story took on a life of its own, which may now be at an end thanks to this order, which specifically states Ben can no longer release videos about the company. And what's more, he may have to pull his old...
So this is when Ben first got the TRO, but we know now, I don't know if Jesse's going to talk about this. When's this video from? I don't know if he's going to talk about the fact that they may be dropping it.
Videos down because the order seems to say they contain private legal information. My 2 cents on this? Look, yes, Ben is accused of using some unorthodox methods during his investigation, but a restraining order? That's where you get into thorny First Amendment territory, and whether this is an illegal prior restraint on protected speech, something that now has to be counterbalanced by preventing harassment or releasing someone's private personal information. You can't commit a crime. So it's tricky. It's complicated. I can tell you one thing, though. One thing I am very confident about. Seems to me this is not going to be the last time we hear from Reckless Ben on all of this. And you know.
So that must be older, but now we know that they may... It's looking like they're gonna drop the restraining order, the TRO, the temporary restraining order, and the case. They're gonna settle it. Private mediation. They're gonna figure out a settlement deal, or there's no suit. They're gonna figure out the problem. Finally, you're gonna actually listen and try to make this right, Bricks and Minifigs. Come on now. All right. One last sad story. This is kind of fucked up. But I just want to show you what evil looks like and what degenerate loser scumbags look like. They look like these two right here. Parents charged with murder of 7-year-old son who weighed 255 pounds at 7. And I think... I haven't even read this, but I'm assuming they like overfed him to death. 7-year-old boy is dead, and his Flint area parents are facing murder charges. He was found neglected, weighing 255 pounds and bedridden. So how do you weigh 200? Usually if you're neglected, it means they're not feeding you. But this kid's 7, so they're feeding him, but he's bedridden, like bed sores, like he just laid in bed and ate. So do they feed him to death? I'm just going to keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. That's funny that's in the Legion of Coom, that reference I just made. It's not hysterical. This is after the death of an obese 7-year-old from suspected neglect. His parents have been charged with murder. How do you weigh 255 pounds and you're neglected? Bedridden, neglected, and living in complete filth. Paramedics went to the house to try to revive the child. They couldn't even go in the house because there wasn't any additional room. Casper's parents called 911 last November. After the boy stopped breathing, he died at the hospital from a heart muscle disease compounded by morbid obesity. Oh my God. How do you die from morbid obesity when you're 7? And is that neglect or is that over? Because obviously they're feeding him. Damn.
Judge Judy never misses a beat.
Oh, this is an ad. I called Hake. He was talking to somebody about flat Earth. Flat Earth.
A 7-year-old boy, bedridden, neglected, unable to speak, weighing an unbelievable 255 pounds. Good evening. I'm Jessica Dupnack. It is a heartbreaking story out of the Flint area tonight. The boy's parents now charged with murder. A warning, the details of this story are very hard to hear. This is the only recent photo of 7-year-old Casper O'Brien. When he died, he weighed 255 pounds, bedridden, neglected, living in complete filth.
255.
Paramedics went into the house to try to revive the child, and the township police wrote in their police report they couldn't even go in the house because there wasn't any additional room.
His parents, Damien and
Look at these
Jessica O'Brien,
fucking
called
losers.
911.
Look at these losers. Worthless. And these people had a kid. And these people could probably vote. That's crazy.
Last November to their Flint Township home. Casper wasn't breathing.
Rainbow
He died at the
chime, of
hospital
course.
a
Purple
heart muscle
hair.
disease compounded by being morbidly obese.
And I guarantee you they hate Donald Trump. I guarantee you these people hate Donald Trump.
His little sister was rescued the day he died.
When the police arrived, the 5-year-old little girl was running around naked. And for lack of a better term, she was like a feral child.
The parents, the O'Briens, are now charged with second-degree murder, torture, and child abuse. Genesee County prosecutor David Layton says Casper was nonverbal and likely on the autism spectrum, but neither child received medical care. What investigators can't understand, Mom and Dad both worked and had health insurance for the family.
They knew enough to call the veterinarian the very morning that the child went into arrest because the dog was sick, but yet they don't take the kids to the doctor. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Those are fur babies.
Now that
That's her fur babies.
5-year-old little girl was immediately taken from the home by Children's Protective Services.
Good.
When this all happened last November, she is currently in temporary foster care.
All right. Well, that's sad. That's crazy. It's just odd that it's called neglect, but it's more like forced gluttony. You're 7. What are you going to do? And your parents are just feeding you garbage and just you're stuck in a hoarder's house with trash everywhere. You just lay in your bed all the time. It's horrible. I hope those people both sit in prison for the rest of their lives. That's their kid. And they let him die a horrible, slow death. Yeah. Both of them need to sit for the rest of their lives. We want to do death penalty. We could do that. I'm all right with it. All right. We're going to wrap the show up. Watching Legion of Coom. I'm going to go early today. because this is only 8 minutes. Or we were going to talk about the end times, but we'll save that for the Bible studies because we're in Matthew and we're getting close to Matthew 24 anyway. I think. Yeah, we're on Matthew 17. So the next day we do the Bible thing, which might be tomorrow morning. We'll be reading through, finishing up Matthew, and Matthew 24 is one of the big chapters. And there's a lot in Revelation, but about the end times and specifically in relation to the weather, the earthquakes, the fires, the just strange storms and strange weather patterns and stuff. It's a sign, but don't worry, I'm not some doomsdayer. I'm not going to tell you guys the end is coming tomorrow. I don't watch the end times. I don't watch for the end times, but I can observe some signs. Anyway, we're going to watch the Legion of Coom instead. We're going to wrap up with that. This is pretty good. And I think I think Andrew's having a debate tonight, and I think Easy's doing a stream right now. So I'll probably watch Easy stream after this and send us there. And then later tonight while I'm at work, I'll watch the debate. LGBTQ in the church. Yep, they're doing it right now. Don't leave and watch it yet. You can watch it on Modern Day Debate from the beginning. But why can't I get a debate like this? I want to debate one of these gay pastors. I would love to do this debate. But we're going to watch the Legion of Coom cartoon. It's pretty funny. Pretty good. Pretty good. If I do say so myself. All characters are fictional, even the ones based in real life.
Curmudgeonly captains of calamity, the sinister Legion of Coom, a hero captured. The Coomslayer himself is a prisoner of dastardly destiny and
hey, that's that jacket.
Who now decide just how they will extinguish the Smoky Man. Little do the villains know, Andrew Wilson's chosen brand is more than Marlboro. With utmost discretion, he activates a hidden distress beacon.
Get that shit out your mouth. This is a no-smoking torture chamber, bitch.
Never thought you'd be. No smoking torture chamber. Sarah doesn't make it into this one. She made it in the last one, but I don't think she's in this one. I love Tree of Life or whatever her name is. Tree of Liberty. Tree of Life. Oh my God. I can't stand that lady. Be able to pull this off.
Oh, I'm gonna pull something off.
Yeah, of course.
I like my torture victims just like I like my cheddar cheese, which is to say, very old and white.
Take it easy, Tree.
That didn't even make sense. What is this? You never seen the Legion of Coom? Here's Destiny.
I'm trying to stay dry for this one. I've been dry since Trump got reelected. Huh? Very good, Z. Now make my again. Perfectly disgusting. Huh?
Huh?
Wait. We can't leave him like this.
Food shop. Oh, food shop is such a creepy. I don't know what gender it is.
Master. Like what food shops? Alive. Food.
They're doing like the meat cannon, Ren and Stimpy, the old Ren and Stimpy. Zoom in and it's just disgusting and extra hyper or extra detailed like Ren and Stimpy used to do.
Shops. Yes. You're making me positively turgid.
Master! Master!
Yes?
No, Master. He's doing the thing with the smoke.
Like hell he is. How in the hell did he get that? We're indoors, for Christ's sake. That's disgusting. Tree, stop him immediately.
Bitch, what I tell you? Nope.
It's like it's a superpower, but all he's doing is smoking fast. It's like he's gonna do some super move, but no, he's just smoking the cigarette very fast.
Fumar, white man.
No, Fumar, you cretin. Food shops go up topside, no.
Why tobacco is part of the ATF? Yes, I know because I looked into it with my prohibition debate, but I can't remember. It had something to do with Homeland Security, with importing and exporting it. No, that's different. I don't know. Because I think it's just, it's like considered like alcohol. It's protected. It's got a cancer label from the Surgeon General on it. It's basically the same category as tobacco. I mean, as alcohol.
Open the vents. As for you, autocorrect,
ATF is a joke anyway. What a stupid. Yeah, it's not a good branch.
Oh, that name, Naima.
Naima?
Lookout duty.
Naima.
She's highly regarded.
You could ask a little nicer. Or is it asking more nicely?
Okay, I'm gonna ask something nice.
Not now, Tree.
Boss man, would you please let me sit on that motherfucking face until he dead?
No,
Until he dead.
Him alive.
I hate you.
I need access to the Smoky phone. It's got Joe Rogan's number in it. Parker, Dean, you're both highly expendable. Bring me that phone, you
Bring me.
cognitively common conjoined. Sure thing, boss.
Ooh, I think I pooped our pants.
No way. They're your pants now. I expected
So
nothing
dumb.
less.
See, tomato's not in this one. What's up, Rev? A turmeric drink?
Lauren, get that damn
Oh, he was sending SOS smoke signals? Look at Lauren Southern. She's so creepy looking.
thing upstairs to the science room. I'll get it open.
Papa Shabbat, Cthulhu Fatagan!
Parker and Dean, watch the Smoky Man. That's 4 eyes for the price of 2. They better not muck it up.
Oh, they will.
Oh, they will.
It's so helped to find good hard these days. Yeah.
This is Naima. This is her Predator. She's watching Brian Shapiro on her arm thing.
You could say that I'm bad at argumentation. You could say that I'm bad at logic, reason, deductive abilities, whatever you want to say. Okay? But here's one thing you can't say. You can't say, Brian, you don't have an national
She just leaves her up there. And then Rachel shows up.
Remember, don't look at him. I mean, watch him, but don't look at him.
So help me out here, Dean. What's the Coomer Gremlin paying you?
Money.
Yeah, money.
You want to make more than just money?
Rogan?
We would very much enjoy the Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah, I want to experience it.
But here's the
Wanna
thing.
experience him.
Joe's best experience is one guest at a time.
What about Matt and Ben?
What about Ben and Matt?
I'd love to experience them.
I'd love to experience them. That's Pearl with the long hair? No, that was Lauren Southern. You don't know what you're talking about.
I think between the three of us, we both know that
That's why he said Lauren. Dummy.
Dean is the real brain of your particular experience.
He is right, Parker. I am the better experience.
Hey, wait a minute.
You see, this is all very simple.
Oh, Tomato did make it in. There she is. She made it in one scene.
Yes, simply insert the dongle. I haven't inserted a dongle since... Absolutely no one cares, Z. Insert the dongle, there we go.
Damn.
Damn it.
He booby-trapped.
It's fine.
He booby
This is
trapped
fine.
us. Look at Hillary. He booby trapped us.
Shut your ass up.
Just take it outside.
Shut your ass
I'm
up.
trying to think.
Dude, the tomato one looks so good. Like, that actually looks like her face in tomato mode. I like how Tree of Life is just like a mutant retard.
Crying ass.
Well, that's that. I guess we go down there and torture him.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's so crazy that they put Hillary Crowder in this. Like, how does she get involved in all this? She's not a Coomer Gremlin. She's not part of the league. I guess just to take a shot at Hillary Crowder, which I respect.
You, I get more views than you.
You told your audience to dox and report a guy to CPS for no reason.
You said biracial people are just white.
You tried to be a rich boy influencer.
You ruined the America tour and then cried about it.
You keep trying to delete your shirtless pics.
Well, I should delete you.
Not there. My face.
So here's an idea. We hook him up to some sort of...
Rachel's just holding her breath.
And
No scuba tank. She's just holding her breath underwater.
goon it out of him.
Maybe we could consult with the angels about it.
His face could consult with my ass.
Let's make him do a 24-hour live stream on my show. We could totally waterboard him with cake batter.
We pull his fingernails off and make him eat them.
I'll time do a bedpost with his ass shit, right? And put a hanger on a stove. And let that sit there for like a half hour and take it out and slow like
that METH.
And then just keep feeding you. So his asshole shut.
Feeding him.
And feeding him. And feeding him.
The y'all looking at? All cross-eyed shit.
What is that?
METHOD,
I knew that duo of dildos would drop the ball. Tree, go see what's going on.
I'm finna whip two nerds with one ass. Bogo.
What the fuck?
Parker Dean, which one of you nerds is it this time? I swear to God, it's like y'all trying to get y'all ass beat.
Oh no.
It's Tree.
Tree is gonna make the hurdy times again.
I kind of like the hurdy times.
Daddy's home.
There it is.
Motherfucker, I'm finna beat
No.
Get your hand away from your ass. Get your hand away from your ass.
Get your hand away from your ass.
Good to see you're safe, sir.
Oh, my Andy, he's so handsome.
The missus has a helo waiting at the EZ less than half a click away.
Now get me out of here, woman.
Yes, sweetie.
Come on, come on. You know, for a secret base that fits in a swamp, this elevator takes forever. Ugh.
How y'all even have a job? How y'all even have a job? What is wrong with you?
What the fuck?
You know what these two knuckleheads was doing?
Where is Andrew?
Oh,
Oh, my God.
Lauren, would you go out with me?
Who was that supposed to be?
God.
Lauren.
Who is that? That's not supposed to be Counterpoints, is it? But he's got a modern day debate hat. Right? That's a modern day debate hat. I think that's supposed to be Counterpoints.
Would you go out with me?
Yeah. Pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure that is Counterpoints. Because I think he just went through a divorce or something, and then he did his Destiny manifesto or his Destiny expose, and he was trying to hook up with Lauren Southern, and she was already with Destiny. And he got butthurt, so then he got all mad and tried to expose Destiny. Like Destiny hasn't been exposed a million times. Probably to children. No, you're going to expose him because you're mad that Lauren Southern didn't date you. Wow. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. Well, that was that. All right, guys. I'm going to head out a little early tonight. My tummy's giving me problems and I got to get ready for work and whatnot. So I think we can either raid. Let's see if Easy started his thing yet. I'm not seeing it. Dean's doing, or Abe has a debate going. I'll send you to Modern Day Debate. All right. We'll go to Modern Day Debate. I haven't rated them in a long time. Thank you guys for hanging out. God bless. It's Monday night. Kicking the week off right. The world's a crazy place. I'm just reporting on it. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. I got to go to work. Dreaded Conservative Show, June 29th. We're almost in July. Less than 1 month till DebateCon. I'm excited. I will see you guys. We'll do a Bible stream either in either tomorrow morning or the next morning. Depends on how tired I am tomorrow morning. But thanks for hanging out, guys. God bless you. Lord Spike, Marilyn, Freddie, Auntie, everybody who hung out, Rev. I will see you guys later. God bless. Peace.